Hello, everybody. Time once again for an update. And I guess the big thing to report now is that everything has exported and everything is finally on its way to America. So on Friday, it was actually the customs clearance and everything got picked up. And then on Sunday, everything got on a plane. So it's now in Korea waiting to get on a boat. And the scheduling that I've seen is that it's going to get to New York on March 10th. And then from New York, it'll get to Pittsburgh, I'm assuming by a truck. And so I don't have the exact scheduling on that yet, but I'm hoping that's going to be a week or maybe 2 weeks, somewhere in that time range for get everything into Pittsburgh, get things arranged, and hopefully start to get stuff shipped out. So later part of March, mid to late March, is when I'm hoping that things will start to get packed up, and then it'll probably be. We got a lot of packages this year, so maybe a week or 10 days once we actually start fulfilling to get stuff in the packages and get stuff finally sent out. Yeah, I was expecting that the ship would go to California on the West Coast and then get trucked across the United States. That's how it was the last time I did stuff by a boat. It went to California, but this time I guess they're going across the Panama Canal and going all the way up the East Coast. So that's the update with shipping. So yeah, it's always a bit of a relief for me when everything finally gets exported, and then it just turns into a waiting game. Everything is completely out of my hands, and I guess for you guys, it's just a little bit more of a normal waiting game. But yeah, happy to say that everything has indeed been exported. So other than that, I guess the next step is I'm going to lock all of the shipping addresses on BackerKit. So after I send out this update, you'll probably get another update from BackerKit to confirm your address. If you're not changing anything, then you don't need to respond to anything. Your address will lock automatically. If you do need to make changes, this will be the time to do it. So just go ahead and follow the links, and it should be pretty self-explanatory once you get into the system there. The only thing I will say is that if you have to change the country that you're shipping to, or even in the United States, if you're changing the state in your address, you may need to send me an email and let me update it on the back end. I remember having this kind of issue last year, but I guess on certain projects, or on projects, you can change the pricing for shipping between different states, so it kind of locks that in the system. It doesn't matter for our project, but we still kind of run up against that locking mechanism. So if you're trying to change your address, run into any issues, just let me know. Other than that, locking addresses, everything's shipping out. Oh yeah, I'm gonna post fiber tests. So I did get everything back, and everything is pretty much in line with what I expected. The only thing I would say is that the baby cashmere, it is thinner than I thought. It's in like the 15.5 range, but also the length on it is quite good. So not really a big difference in the length of the baby cashmere either. So I'm pretty curious. I want to get this year's batch of yarn in your guys' hands, and let me know what you guys think of it. And I know it's going to be very soft, but I'm curious if you feel like there's a trade-off in structure, or maybe it's too soft or like too lofty. I'm not sure. I feel like it's almost like a different fiber. So and that'll kind of depend. Well, depending on the feedback, it'll influence what we do next year. I'm considering changing all of our cashmere into more of the baby cashmere way of things for next season, at least going forward. I think we still have like a really good split of yarns, and maybe just making the cashmere absolutely as soft and delicate as possible is maybe the way to go. And then if you still want like more of the structure, maybe camel wool, then even more, you got yak wool and things like that. So yeah, I'm curious to see what the feedback is gonna be like for the baby cashmere. But yeah, I'll post all the fiber tests and let you guys go through those. One thing about the fiber tests too is I didn't have any fiber left for the for the baby cashmere blend and for the baby camel wool. And so what I did is I actually got yarn tests done with them. And I thought that it would be the same, but there's something weird about the yarn testing. The micron seems to be way too thick. When I'm touching and looking at the baby cashmere and the baby cashmere blend, I really can't tell much of a difference at all. Very difficult for me to try and figure out if I'm doing a blind test, which one's which. But the yarn test came back as like 17.5%. And for the baby camel wool, I think it was 18.5%, which that's just way too thick. And I posted, there was a yarn test I had from last year it's the same fiber of the baby camel wool. And that one was 17, which I think is a bit more realistic for what the baby camel wool is. So maybe there's like a point or a point and a half difference in the micron. I would expect that the baby cashmere blend is probably somewhere around like 16 or maybe a little bit less, where the standard cashmere is in the 16.5 range. So yeah, I'm still going to post them just for transparency's sake, and I said that I would post all the fiber tests, but keep that in mind. I don't think that those, and I even talked about it with the cooperative and stuff as well, because they also didn't have any extra fiber of the baby blend. So, but yeah, so I even talked to them. It's not realistic, but go ahead, look through those fiber tests, and then next year I'll be a little bit more careful with saving fiber. It always kind of gets forgotten, and then at the end of things, everything's into yarn or fiber's kind of off for testing elsewhere. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy going through all the different fiber tests. Other than that, I've been doing a lot of swatching. If you're curious of what over a kilogram of swatches looks like, I'm going to be updating my website. I'm going to get the new yarns up there and get everything ready for opening up for sales of the new yarn. So, but yeah, I did, these are even some from last year too, but a lot of all the different fibers, all the different yarns and yarn widths and everything like that, bulky fingering lace. So if there's any color combinations that you actually are curious about, let me know. And I'll take some pictures and I'll post them up in the next update. And speaking of getting stuff online and ready for further sales, if you do want to add on more yarn, we are going to do one last kind of a flash sale. I did get my packing list and I was able to reconcile all of that with the pre-orders and what was made. So I do have pretty good inventory spots for all of the yarn that we've just made. However, I do want to get home and recount all of my old stock just to make sure that I don't end up overextending myself on the final distribution. So I'll get back to Pittsburgh sometime mid-March, do inventory real quick, update the website, and then after that, once the yarn's there for maybe the 2 or 3 days before final shipping, I'll send out an update and do the final call for add-ons there. And yeah, I think that's about all that I wanted to say for this update. Maybe one more thing, for international people outside of the US, this year I'm going to be using FedEx for shipments. I haven't found the exact cutoff yet, but it's going to be between 3 and 4 skeins is where it makes a lot more sense for me to just use FedEx to ship everything. It is substantially quicker, and once and the tracking is better. And once the weight is up around that 300 or 400 gram mark, there's really not that big of a difference between that and kind of the standard shipping. One of my customers, a few of my customers have told me that for FedEx, you can avoid some fees if you sign up for, if you make an account with FedEx before receiving your package. And maybe if you're unsure if you're going to, because FedEx doesn't exactly have service everywhere. So what you probably could do is wait until everything actually ships. And you'll get notification before stuff hits the mail. And you'll be able to see what the courier is for your shipment. And if you're FedEx, and I'll put links so that you can make an account, and it'll duck some of the processing fees. You will still have, shouldn't be duties, but it kind of depends on where you live. Because depending on where you live, it is duty-free for Mongolian products, for Mongolian yarn and knitted items. But you're probably still going to have to pay VAT anyways, but it'll duck the processing fees. And it'll make it a lot more streamlined too. You get text messages, you can pay it online. But FedEx, it's much more reliable, much quicker. Should get it in 2, 3, maybe 4 days, depending on where you are. And the tracking is a lot better. For me, I can't deal with the lost packages and delayed packages anymore. It's absolutely brutal for me. So making that change, if the packages are very small, 100, 200 grams, then it's a little bit cost prohibitive to use FedEx. And that'll still be probably with the standard kind of snail mail stuff, but I'm less worried about those. It's like if those need to get reshipped, it's not like a huge thing, or if those are delayed, but the larger shipments really hurt when they get lost. So making that change this year, reminding you guys, and there'll be information in the update about how to make an account, and I will send out more reminders in the future as well, whenever you can expect your shipment. And if you do end up getting your shipment via FedEx, you can make that account at that time. But yeah, okay. I think that's actually it this time. I always about to stop recording and then I remember something else. But yeah, I think that's it. We got color recommendations. Want to see some stuff together? Let me know. And other than that, we're close, guys. Probably another month, month and a half, and we'll get stuff in the mail. Thank you.